welcome everyone this evening. For those of you participating from home through live streaming, we're delighted to share this Shabbat service with all of you. If you're a guest, please stand and
My name is Donaldina Jen, and I'm a good friend of Helene and Larry.
and a good friend to Sisterhood, and we're delighted to see you. Thank you for being here. Tonight's service will include readings from the Covenant of the Soul, authored by female rabbis and scholars actively engaged in Tikkun Olam. A modern understanding of this term is that we share a partnership with God and are instructed to take steps toward improving the state of the world and helping others. Our prayers will be all-encompassing, and they will be dedicated to our personal families as well as to our membership and the greater community in which we reside. As we immerse ourselves in the beauty and repose of this evening's service, may our profoundest hopes for a better world embrace those in the farthest reaches of the globe. We will guide you through the service by signifying whether we're reading from an extraneous source or proceeding from our prayer book. Kindly set your cell phones on vibrate and silence all other forms of electronic devices so that we may fully experience the meaning of Shabbat. Please take note of our exits on either side of this room and know that there is an exit in the kitchen if we should ever need it. There's also a defibrillator at the back of the room with a nice chart to guide you through all the steps, and we hope you never have to use it. It is my pleasure to introduce the Sisterhood participants in this evening's service. Starting over on this side, we have Sunette Marin, we have Jean Schechter, we have Bunny Tarquinio, Linda Stein, Lori Sherman, Marlies Fitterman, and on this side, we have Marilyn Forstadt, we have Bobby Vishner, and last but not least, Gail Norton and myself, Sue Cohen. Please note that we will be doing our service in a slightly different order this evening than you may be accustomed to, but I promise you we will not disappoint. I would like to read to you something from the Covenant of the Soul. It's an affirmation of faith. On this Shabbat, Adonai, we look to you for guidance and strength. No matter what we are feeling tonight, when we are together, we are one. The gift you give us is the ability to pray as a united congregation on this Shabbat. Under the watchful Shabbat skylight from ancient stars penetrates our very being, opening our senses that we may see each other for the first time. In the presence of sacred scrolls, words from ancient peoples travel through our thoughts, guiding our footsteps that we may walk side by side for the first time. Under the rippled surface of the Kiddush prayer, melodies from ancient lands soak into our hearts and souls, reaching outward that we may touch each other for the first time. Together, we will combine our voices under the Ner Tamid, seeing and celebrating our differences in ways that will make us stronger. As the Shabbat candles are kindled, we envision the vastness of the universe that we may travel across the generations to hear the words of Ruth and Naomi, to listen to the voice of Miriam's timbrel. I'd like to call Marilyn up to guide us through the Sabbath candles, the lighting of the candles. Yes, absolutely.
This too is from Covenant of the Soul. On this Sisterhood Shabbat, we thank you, O God, for the joys of the past, for the friendships created, and the accomplishments achieved. Like a tapestry, the work of our minds, hearts, and hands stands before us. We thank you, God, for helping us to fulfill a need, support a cause, Extend a warm hand to a stranger. Together we have learned, worked, and rejoiced, always growing, always changing. Thank you, God, for our diversity and our ability to come together for the common good of our congregation and our community. We are grateful for our loved ones who support us and understand the significance of the contribution we make. As we look to the future, grant us strength and energy to persevere in the work we do. When we are weary with the daily demands of the busy world in which we live, help us find the time and the desire to contribute to the well-being of others. Help us to stand back for a moment and appreciate the larger picture and implant within us the drive to enhance the beautiful world which you have created for all of us. Grant us, O God, the imagination, creativity, and vision to approach each task with freshness and enthusiasm. Awaken in us the sensitivity to identify needs of those who might not ask for help, and prompt us to respond quickly to those who cry out in need. Grant us courage to lend our voices in working towards truth, justice, and peace in our world. As a silver thread is carefully woven through a precious cloth, help us as a group to continue weaving our tapestry of mitzvot. And as we celebrate this special moment, O God, be with each of us, bless us, guide our footsteps as we continue on our journey. Page 3 in the prayer book. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As the brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. And I'll light the candles. I think I got it right here. Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu b'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And these are Thoughts of Shabbat by Abraham Joshua Heschel. The holiness of Shabbat is a place and time, a moment of majesty, the radiance of joy. Shabbat can help to make us whole. Shabbat ennobles and enhances. It offers the gifts of dignity and rest, of splendor and delight. It nourishes the seeds of eternity planted in our soul. On this day, we focus upon holiness and time, returning from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. The prayers or rituals of Shabbat are designed to help us transform the 25 hours of the seventh day into a taste of the world to come. A glimmer of life without strife, we are to leave behind our troubles and embrace the replenishing holiness of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Giver of peace, teach us to see ourselves in the face of the other, that we may learn to be patient with fault, generous in love, sparing with anger. Help us to understand that our little lives are potent with great good, that we are healers in your image, that reaching out in need of you to others more in need, we find you near. Give us the grace simply to be kind. Then peace must surely come to dwell among us.
Shabbat is the most important day of the week. The charge in Exodus and Deuteronomy to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy was a covenant between God and the Jewish people. Shabbat comes from the Hebrew shin bet tav, meaning to rest or cessation from labor. Shabbat is also referred to as the queen of the week or the bride, in part because the mystics believe that the Shekinah, the feminine spirit imbued in the Sabbath, descends each Friday night as the sun sets. On the Sabbath, Jews rest and turn their thoughts toward prayer and toward the home. This day is central to Judaism. Quote, more than Israel has kept the Sabbath has kept Israel. No other ancient culture had a day of rest. It is unique to Judaism. Ideally, one must must remove all thoughts of work and everyday concerns. The idea is to eliminate the mundane. Shabbat is considered a sacred holiday. It is customary to invite a stranger, traveler, or poor person to be a guest, either at dinner or into the home. A custom that may have fallen into disuse is to set aside money for charity before lighting the candles, signifying honor and observing. In Judaism, there is the idea of holiness in time rather than in space. You can keep the Sabbath anywhere in the world, whether it be in the desert like we do here or on the polar ice caps. You need neither an intermediary to work for you or a host facility in which to celebrate the Sabbath. It can be done anywhere. On the Sabbath, we are to reflect upon the wonders of creation and our relationship to God. And finally, immersing oneself in the Sabbath offers a great opportunity for self-replenishment.
This is a wonderful Hasidic story about the child of a rabbi who used to wander in the woods. At first his father let him wander, but over time he became concerned. The woods were dangerous. The father did not know what lurked there. He decided to discuss the matter with his child. One day he took him aside and said, "You know, I've noticed that each day you walk into the woods. I wonder, why do you go there?" The boy said to his father, "I go there to find God." "That's a very good thing," the father replied gently. "I'm glad you are searching for God. But my child, don't you know that God is the same everywhere?" "Yes," the boy answered, "but I'm not."
Please turn to page 5 and sing or say the Kiddush with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahavat u'ratzon yitrilanu. Zikaron le'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah le'mikra'ei kodesh, sefer l'tzion mitzrayim. Ki banu b'charta, yotanu kidashta, mimcha ha'amim, Shabbat kodesh ve'al ratzon in Altanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Creator of the galaxies, you rule the infinitudes of space, yet allow us to feel the wonder of your presence in our inner lives. Help us who cannot truly comprehend you to be worthy partners in your creation. Hear our prayers of praise, supplication, and aspiration. Bless the leaders and members of our congregation. Teach us to serve our temple community, the Jewish people, Israel, and humankind. Thus may we more surely honor you.
The alphabet of spiritual legacy. A is for attention. Stay awake, be alert. B, beauty in the world, or being present, live in the present moment. C is for compassion, opening your heart, mind, and soul to others. Or C is for connections. Cultivate the art of making connections. D, devotion. E, enthusiasm. F is for faith and forgiveness, both yourself and others. G is for gratitude for all the blessings in your life. H is for hope and also for hospitality. I, imagination. J, joy and justice, seeking liberty for all. K is for kindness. L is for listening. M, meditate, give meaning to your life. N is for nurturing. O for openness. P for peace and prayer. Q for questing. R for respect and reverence. S is for silence. Slow down. T is for transformation. Welcome positive changes. U is for unity. V, vision. W, wonder. X, the mystery. Accept the unknown. Y is for you. Accept who you are as you are. And Z is for zeal. Be passionate.
Please turn to page 326 for Matovu. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkatatecha Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkatatecha Yisrael. Oh, I think that, no, that's enough, I think, yes, okay. Would you please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 28, if you're able to? 28, I'm sorry. Page 28. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever. Remain standing, page 34 for the Shema, please. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. May be seated.
Life is many things, and we're all old enough to know it's many, many things, some unexpected. Life is a challenge. Meet it. Life is a gift. Appreciate it. Life is an adventure, so dare it. Life is a sorrow. Overcome it. Life is a duty. Perform it. Life is a game. Play it. Life is a mystery. Unfold it. Life is a song. Sing it. Life is an opportunity. Take it. Life is a journey. Complete it. Life is a promise. Fulfill it. Life is a beauty. Praise it. Life is a struggle. Grow from it. Life is a goal. Achieve it. Life is a puzzle. So go on and solve it.
Shabbat shalom. Please turn, we're going to do the Ve'ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol v'chol v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu adamarim ha'ele asher onachi mitzavecha hayom al avadecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta b'am v'shivtecha v'lecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shuvtecha l'kumecha uv'shartam le'odayadecha ve'ayotutachot b'einenecha uv'kaftam Amazon betecha ubisharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hem kadoshim l'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzetiechem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Li'yod lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Please turn to 166, and I'm going to read.
It's hard to hear back here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to go to page 166. And I'm going to read something. I can find the page. Okay. Lend us the wit, O God, to speak the lean and simple word. Give us the strength to speak the found word, the meant word. Grant us the humility to speak the friendly word, the answering word. Make us sensitive, God, sensitive to the sounds of words which others speak, sensitive to the sounds of their words and to the silences in between. Turn to page 44, and we're going to sing together the Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים והארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. I missed a verse. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
I love that. Sorry about that. No problem. It's fine. Let's see. Now we do. Oh, you're doing the Hatzik Touch. Oh, yes. Yes, you are.
Okay, page 26. Please help me along. Yitkada v'yitkada shaleva v'yavadi v'chirotei v'amlit malutei v'chayevon u'yamechon u'chayei kol beit Yisrael v'hagala u'bizman kariv v'yivaru amen. Yeheshme'ra mevorach le'olam le'almaya yitbarach yishtabach v'yitbahar yitaman v'yitaser yitagar yitala shabbat kudusha b'richo le'elamim kol v'chata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Yamiran v'yamaram v'yivaru amen.
This is a reading that is not in the book, also from Covenant of the Soul. Yemida. May words of those assembled here be words of praise that are sincere. May we utter our most fervent prayers in joyful supplication. May we feel the strength that you convey as we bow our heads and begin to pray. We thank you for this Sabbath day, our rock and our Redeemer. Thank you, God, for the lives we lead, for providing us with all we need and supporting us, that we may succeed in our worldly undertakings. May we be worthy of your grace as we gather in this holy place, our prayers transcending time and space. Adonai, we sing your praises. The sages taught that the Bible is written with black fire on white fire. The black fire is the text on the page. The white fire is the space between the lines. It is in these spaces that holiness often resides. The white fire is midrash, interpretations of the text. The black fire, rising like flames, like sparks in a vortex, rising to heaven, contains messages for all. The Bible has a subtext of astonishing depth. If the congregation please turn to page 46 and rise. Whoops. As we open up the ark. Oh, thank you.
Adonai sefataytika uvia gitahilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 48, please. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elokei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Masei Avot V'imonu, U'me'niku La'ot B'neihem, Le'ema Shemo Ve'yahava, Melech Hoser U'Mashiach U'Mayin, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Turn to page 50, and let us say, halfway down the page or a third down, you are forever mighty. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all, revive the dead, and in the winter you cause the wind to shift and the rain to fall. You sustain life through love, giving life to all. Through our great passions, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith of those who sin with us. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign gives life. From the rivers to spring up, and faithfully giving life to all.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all.
Baruch
atah
Adonai, Mikayeh HaKol. Thank you. Okay. You may be seated. Nope.
Okay.
You may be seated.
Now it's you.
No. I'm doing half the job. Please stand as you are able for a silent devotion. Please be seated when you are finished. No? Isn't that what I have? No. Okay, no. 62. 62.
For Osei Shalom. We forgot. Just not going to do it later. Tell her you may be seated.
You may be seated.
If you turn to page 62 in your prayer book, we're going to sing Osei Shalom. Most of you know the words without the book.
Osei Shalom Bimrama, Uyasei Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. Yasei Shalom, Yasei Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yasei Shalom, Yasei Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yasei Shalom, Yasei Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yasei Shalom, Yasei Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
Sermon time. Thank you. Is that yours? No, this just goes on top. I'd like to tell you a little something about the inspiration for my sermon. A few years ago, I discovered the writings of Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. Jonathan Sacks was a Jew knighted by Queen Elizabeth for the work that he did to integrate the various faith groups in England. He was a superb writer, a marvelous philosopher, and he was loved and respected by all faith groups. And I came across this book called The Dignity of Difference. And I was so impressed that really what I have to say, I am simply reciting from my learnings from his writings. So I don't take any credit for this other than to say, I bring this to you for you to take home with you tonight and just meditate on it a little bit. Rabbi Sacks was profoundly concerned with the age of extremism in which we presently find ourselves, and wrote this book, which he describes as a forceful plea to always be mindful of the fact that the world is interconnected. This should necessarily create a willingness to consider the opportunities that may arise from meeting and working with the other. Can we not, he questions, feel enlarged by coming together? Can religions become a force for peace rather than a source of conflict? Rabbi Sacks asks if we see the other as a threat to our beliefs and our way of life, or as an enrichment of the collective heritage of mankind. He reminds us that in Judaism we find concern for the universal and respect for the particular. As our capacity for destruction grows, so too must the generosity of our moral and spiritual imagination expand. We have acquired fateful powers. We can heal or harm, mend or destroy on an unimaginable scale. The greatest single antidote to violence is conversation. listening to the fears of others, sharing vulnerabilities, and discovering a genesis of hope provide a better foundation for living and aspiring together. In the words of Isaiah the prophet, let us reason together. The proliferation of channels of communication, email, chat groups, the internet, online journals, and a host of cable and satellite TV channels produce a narrowed version of the news. Rabbi Sachs believes that when the image speaks louder than the still small voice of reason and moderation, a culture of confrontation is inevitable. Sachs reminds us the sheer tenacity of the great faiths, so much longer lived than political systems and ideologies, suggests they speak to something more enduring in human character. Judaism is one of those voices. The prophets of ancient Israel were the first to think globally, to conceive of a God transcending place and natural boundaries, and of humanity as a single moral community. They were the first to conceive of society as a place where justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a never-ending stream, and of a future in which war had been abolished. These insights have lost none of their power. Reverence, restraint, humility, a sense of limits, the ability to listen and respond to human distress are the attributes we will need if our global civilization is to survive, and they are an essential part of the religious imagination. Rabbi Sachs eloquently advises us that nature has its own dignity. As God's masterpiece, and though we have the mandate to use it, we have none to destroy or despoil it. Information technologies democratize access to knowledge, and one of our aims must be to bring every child on earth within its radius. Education is the single greatest key to human dignity. Under conditions of maximal uncertainty, we are best guided by relatively simple moral principles: self-control, contribution, creativity, cooperation, compassion, and conservation. In consumption-driven cultures, the institutions of civil society, family community, congregation, and volunteer association often become eroded. The glory of the created world is its astonishing multiplicity, the thousands of different languages spoken by mankind, the proliferation of cultures, the sheer variety of the imaginative expression of the human spirit, which, if we listen carefully, we will hear the voice of wisdom. This is the dignity of difference. The world is not a single machine. It is a complex, interactive ecology in which diversity, biological, personal, cultural, and religious, is of the essence. Any proposed reduction of that diversity would result in a diminution of the rich texture of our shared life. The instinct to see difference as a threat, according to Rabbi Sachs, is massively dysfunctional. Difference does not diminish, it enlarges the sphere of human possibilities. True tolerance comes not from the absence of faith, but from its living presence. Rabbi Sachs believes in the sanctity of the covenant. He suggests a need for global covenant. Covenants are more foundational than contracts. Covenants are intergenerational. They remind us that we are guardians of the past for the sake of the future. They hold us to the consequences of our actions. Covenant, more explicitly, according to Rabbi Sachs, means extended responsibility horizontally across space, vertically across time, to and for the totality of which we are a part. Covenant is the attempt to create partnership without dominance or submission. Covenant occurs when diverse groups pledge themselves in mutual loyalty to achieve together what they cannot achieve alone. Covenant affirms the dignity of difference. World faiths remind us that civilizations survive not by strength, but how they respond to the weak, not by wealth, but by the care they show for the poor, not by power, but by their concerns for the powerless. May we ever be guided by a profound longing to share and work for the common good. Shabbat Shalom.
Do you want me to do Ritzay now? Do you want Ritzay? Please turn to page 56, and we're going to do
What page?
56. We're going to do Ritzay, and it's in English, I think, and if you don't know it, you can pick it up, I think. It's a lovely tune. Okay? John, are you ready? Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Utfilatam, Be'ahava tekabel. Utfilatam, Be'ahava tekabel. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Utfilatam, Be'ahava tekabel. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Utpila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Utpila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Shochad v'levad v'yarana avod. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Me'am HaYisrael. Do you want me?
Good job, us. It takes many people to help our service run smoothly. And if it ran smoothly, we'd be perfect, and we're not. Somehow, the list of those who are ill did not get into the drawer tonight. Therefore, we will remember all of those who are ill and recovering from whatever illness has them. If there's anyone here in our congregation tonight that has a name they would like to recite. Yes.
My mom, Sharon Spears Holler, and she has cancer. So, and then,
Sorry.
And then also I don't know if this is the right time, but my uncle, this is the yearly passing of him.
That'll be in the next.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Anyone else for illness?
Bobby?
Yaakov Aryeh Ben Leah.
I just spoke with a friend of mine from North Dakota. Did not know until today when the doc called him actually last night and said, don't drive. And if you faint, call 911. You need a pacemaker now. So they're waiting.
Blessings and.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it. Okay. Okay. We will turn to page 253 for the Mishabera. Page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishabero imotenu, Mekor Abraham, Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I would just like to say, since we just sang the Mishabera, that we did omit a name, that to all of us, this person is very dear and special, and she's here tonight recovering after triple bypass surgery, and that's Ricky. And we're very happy she's with us. And may God bless you in your recovery, and we're glad you're here with us.
If you're able, I'm going to ask you to rise as we open the ark and turn to page 282 for the Elaine.
Shalom Samkel Geirkahem, Venor Aleinu, Mikol Ha'amah, V'ha'avtu Chorim, U'mishacharim U'motim, L'tei Melech, Alei HaMakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Next page.
284?
Yes.
Shemunot Hashamayim v'yosei haaretz, u'moshe v'karon b'shamayim imahal, u'shiratuto,
Page 287.
You may be seated. As Sue or Bobby said, the names have been, we don't have the sheet of the names, the parts departed. So we will, those are in mourning. If any names, thank you. If any names would like to be mentioned, please.
And my uncle, Kenny Spears.
Okay. Marty?
Wendy Levy.
My sister,
Linda.
Yes.
Calvin Cunin and Roberta Cunin.
Okay.
my sister Andrea Tracy Sherman, and my uncle Robert Sassman.
Yes?
My sister Carolyn Kulikov.
Any other names to be added?
Shemaya Zakri, Ben Zisohana, Ben Brad, Ivan David.
Okay. I have another reading here, if I can find it.
138.
No.
294.
Where did I put it? Here it is. This also is not in the book. It's Covenant of the Soul, number 138. We pause now to remember those who have died, members of our own families, our friends, and even those whom we had not yet had the privilege of knowing well. They have left this earth, but have given us life or added a special influence in our lives, and we are grateful. They are our past, and we are their future. We say Kaddish together to honor God. The story of all people, of all generations, is with us when we say Kaddish. Sometimes we say Kaddish to remember a specific person who died recently. Tonight, we remember especially those tender souls who died this past year, and we mark the occasion in our own families and our temple's histories by remembering all those who passed. In silent meditation, may you reflect not only on lives lost, but on lives given. For the Kaddish reminds us that our prayers are for the blessings of each and the promise of life come true. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn. May we on earth provide comfort to all among us who are bereaved. Amen.
Amen.
We'd like to say the Kaddish on page 294. Those of you that feel comfortable standing, please do.
Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shamei Rabbah, Yoladi, Rabbi, Yoladi, Vayelom, Yolom, Vayelom, Yisrael, Vayelom, Israel, Vayelom, Amen.
Yeshmei Rabba Barak Yolam Meinaya. Yiparak Yishkar Yipahar Yiparak Yisaset Yitar Yitabel Yitalah Shemei Shashak Leilom Imkol Kata Shirata Shushkata Venekamata Yeshlam Rabba Mishaya V'chayim Leimedi Kol Yisrael Oseh Shalom B'Nunah V'yaseh Shalom Aleinu B'Yachol Yisrael V'Yibru
Be seated. Thank you. All right.
This evening, we are pleased to honor Helene Feldman, whose years of gracious service as Sisterhood Treasurer has been a blessing. About 15 years ago, I volunteered to chair a Sisterhood event. I asked for someone to co-chair. Helene Feldman, who was new to the temple and Sisterhood, volunteered without hesitation. That was the beginning of my treasured friendship with this dear lady, and the first of many jobs Helene took on for Sisterhood, including just recently the Mahjong tournament, year after year. Helene eventually went on to become Sisterhood Treasurer, a position she held for several years, and as whatever she did an outstanding job. It is my pleasure to represent Sisterhood in honoring our dear friend, Helene Feldman. And Sisterhood is presenting her with a leaf for the Tree of Life, and the inscription is, honoring Helene Feldman, our very own Chancellor of the Exchequer, for years of managing our treasury with aplomb, for her shining presence at our meetings and her steadfast commitment to helping us achieve worthwhile goals. With gratitude and love, your Sisterhood. And we also have a gift certificate for dinner, lunch, or whatever at Stables.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It was a labor of love.
We are going to, we're not singing this song. Okay. No. We are going to do the blessing over the bread when we approach the onyx table. We already did the wine. Oh, I'm sorry. We will do the blessing over the wine when we approach the onyx table. And we have already done the blessing over the wine. I told you we do things in unconventional ways during our service, but we get it done. And we want, as a closing song, to sing a Debbie Friedman favorite. May we be blessed as we go on our way. Unfortunately, we don't have the text for everybody, but I think you're going to recognize the melody when you hear it. I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing this evening with us. And we hope that you take something home with you and that it makes you sleep well tonight. And as you approach our table, our owning table, we will say a blessing over the bread before we dig in. And again, our special thanks to Marlis Bitterman, who has helped us tremendously through the music, and also John, his husband to Lori Sherman, has helped in the background and done some rehearsals and has done has been a major help in the background over the months that, remember, we were supposed to do this service in July, so it was sitting with us for a while. But enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you all for being here with us tonight.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Yes.
Recognition. Need you to do the hallelujah. They can't start getting soup. No, I need you to do the hallelujah.